My name is Steve Greenhouse. I cover labor and workplace matters for the New York Times. I'm here today to moderate a panel about forced labor, modern-day slavery, and strategies to combat, today's horrific 21st century slavery. As the labor and workplace reporter for the New York Times, I often write about topics like violations of the minimum wage, or how farm workers are treated, or unions' efforts to unionize various companies, or what Wisconsin, Indiana, and Michigan are doing to roll back union rights. But all throughout, I'm realizing that in many ways, the most important topic, the worst way workers are treated in the world is really through forced labor, human trafficking, modern-day slavery. And I've been thinking about this, and in many ways, that topic, of all the topics I cover as labor workplace reporter for the New York Times, in many ways the hardest subject to cover is human trafficking and forced labor, because it's so hidden and often kept so silent. The evildoers, the malign people who traffic other human beings and force them into slavery, they make sure that these people are invisible and silent. And similarly, the victims, the people held in bonded labor, forced labor, are often threatened that if they escape, if they try to talk to NGOs, if they try to talk to the press, horrible things are going to happen to them. So it's very hard to cover. But nonetheless, when we learn about these stories, we're eager to write about them, about the domestic workers on Long Island or Westchester County or in diplomats' homes outside Washington, D.C., who are essentially effectively imprisoned and not allowed out, or the bonded, the 10-year-old, the 12-year-old bonded workers, kids in Pakistan or India who work for years in garment factories and other factories, or the child slaves, cocoa workers in West Africa. We do try to write about that. One of the hard things, though, is when a case arises. An organization will come to us and say, there's this woman from Indonesia or India or Pakistan who's been held as a slave at a home on Long Island. My editors might say, well, that's just one person. We don't know how big a trend it is. How can we prove? How can we corroborate what that woman is saying? So there are, unfortunately, real obstacles to covering this subject. But when we find a good story, we definitely want to cover it.